after they were contacted by Test and Trace. Though I'm not sure they needed to be contacted by Test and Trace because, of course, the Health Secretary, Sajid Javid, tested positive for COVID the day before. This was one of those moments, I think, when everybody was united in outrage. How could the Prime Minister and the Chancellor not have extraordinarily lucky that they were on a pilot scheme, which meant that they didn't need to? Ruth Davidson, I'm not sure why they even thought if this one is staying in place today, that you need to self-isolate if you're in contact, is you can only do it with public consent. And I would say at 8 o'clock yesterday morning, public consent was smashed. Because if the Prime Minister and the Chancellor can look like they're making up a rule where they don't need to self-isolate, what on earth incentive is there for anybody else to isolate? Now, Tony Blair in the Mail today has said, actually, he wants the Prime Minister and the Chancellor to be at their desk working. And in fact, lots of businesses and the NHS want their workers
but that's the
to
difference.
be differently. And in fact, Tony Blair says the point is, if you're double jabbed, if you are double jabbed, you should be allowed an exemption. Now, that is, of course, coming in from August the 16th. Why isn't that coming in straight away?
Well, that's a very good
double jab. Or let us all do this pilot.
It would make
now can go back and have their normal social life, which is really important.
Of course,
for
people who want to do that.
Contagious diseases, we don't have restrictions. When there's flu, we don't shut down nightclubs.
No, we have restrictions for...
We have vaccinations.
Well, we have... But
says that the UK effectively is operating a mass experiment. And I'm sure we've all heard more cases, because you've got infections running at 50% protection. I think there's a difference, isn't there, between Pfizer and AstraZeneca when it comes to the Delta variant. It just feels like more people are getting it who have been double jabbed. Is that simply because a huge proportion of our mask on public transport will be a condition of carriage? But of course, it won't be a legal requirement, you know, top down. Just to point out, so in Scotland, Scotland today goes into levels.
Hi there, good morning. It's just gone 6:30. Welcome to the programme.
Well, hello, stranger.
To repair it all, as it was. Do you know what? It was only when I explained it to Hillary and we were on air, and it all made sense.
I love it when patients start.
If it's at all possible, could you send some of that love to my wife, because she's the one who's really struggling.
Yeah, I know. Let's think of the real victim here.
But it's so far so good. It'll be 2 weeks tomorrow post-operation.
And you were in the dressing room this morning. I don't know if we've got that picture with bandages on.
Interestingly...
Make sure it's on in every dressing room.
Today is the first day in about 3-4 weeks that I've actually had trousers, socks and shoes on as well. And Debbie does dresses, who looks after all our clothes, she's...
Freedom Day. For you, it's back to work day.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Well, I suppose for me, it's freedom for Annie. And we're joined by the Mirror's Kevin Maguire.
And then, as Susanna said, I think it was within 2 hours, Kevin, they'd done the U-turn. It was clear that they'd realised that the outrage was huge. And yet, of course, Boris Johnson couldn't bring himself to say, look, we've listened to what you had to say. We realise we've made a mistake over this. It's important that we are able to do our jobs, but we will abide by the rules like everybody else. Opened overnight, big countdowns. It felt like it was New Year's Eve in lots of them. I mean, it looked...
Of course, Dr. Hillary, I can imagine, you know, 0 restrictions. You can meet friends and family socially in groups of up to 8 people from 4 households in your home or theirs. You can stay overnight. Hospitality settings required to close at midnight. You'll need to maintain at least 1 metre distance from other households in all public indoor settings, so still maintaining significant restrictions. In Wales, face coverings, of course, still required, a legal requirement, public transport and taxis. And in Northern Ireland, the restrictions will not be relaxed until the 26th of July. So we are not moving forward as 4 nations to Johnny Vegas and Rosemary Schrager, because they're doing Cooking with the Stars. Ruth, you know all about doing...
This morning.
You're watching Good Morning Britain on ITV.
I'll see you in a bit. Thank you for all the lovely messages saying nice, welcome back, hope the knee heals quickly. I do too, although not too quickly, because I'm quite enjoying all this attention.
Getting lots of sympathy from
everyone,
aren't you?
It's great.
People helping you with things, bringing you pain.
Well, yeah, I've got reason.
Charlotte, come back.
I'm in pain.
please.
I'm not the tea.
Andy cares. He's got a competition for you, a two-part prize worth over £95,000. Here's the details.